Chris Cuomo says Biden pardon gave Trump the exact baseball bat to justify beating Dems to death. Check this out. We have the full clip for you. I'd like to play it here. I find it to be rather fascinating as we play this clip here in just a moment that you would realize that, you know, News Nation has become somewhat of a centrist news outlet. As my producer and I were discussing, maybe they realized that, you know, on CNN, Chris Cuomo was just spewing far-left vitriol, and maybe Americans don't want to hear that anymore. Listen to this.
To seize on the gift that Biden just gave him. Democrats are saying, oh, I can't support Biden's decision. This is about principle. Look, everyone gets protecting family except the cancel crazy people. But this isn't about that. This is about how Biden justified this. I guess I didn't put a fine enough point on it yesterday. So let me say it again. This was a huge admission, what Biden said here. Who knew in the Democrat ranks that Biden was going to say he was pardoning his son, not because it's his son, not because he's got to protect him, but because of political prosecutions and overreach? Who knew? People had to know. People had to know how dangerous this pardon was going to look. And by the way, there may be another coming for his brother, and maybe himself too, who knows? Because clearly what Biden is trying to do is insulate all three of them from funny money probes. That's why you bracket the 10-year period. It's not how that usually works. Usually you'd say, this is my son. This is what he was convicted of. He owns it. He pleaded guilty. That's it. I'm letting him go. He's my son. If you don't like it, I'm on the way out anyway. You would have gotten that. Democrats could say, no one's above the law. Forget it. Nobody believes that. And yet he's blaming his behavior in advance on a corrupt system. Tell me, who does he sound like? And that is the answer to why the Democrats lost. Because he sounds just like the guy who's supposed to be so much worse. And the Democrats, protectors of the institutions, let it happen. You let a sitting president say, the DOJ on my watch was dirty in how it went after my son. How do you let that happen? And in so doing, you have sealed our fate. You have allowed Biden to validate the exact argument. You gave Trump the exact baseball bat that Trump and the funky bunch are going to use to make justified what's about to happen. They are going to beat you to death with the bat you just handed them. They're just going to go after the other side for going after them. This is why you lost. You say Trump is FOS, and then you play the same game. I told you yesterday this would happen. And it happened today. I didn't think it would happen that fast, but it did. Trump's lawyer.
Yeah, it happened. And I don't think he's wrong in understanding exactly the definition of the fact that this probably set people off realizing that the Democrats in and of themselves are no better in many ways than the people that they claim to be against. Interestingly enough, everyone knows that the next medical crisis is just around the corner, and they're always suggesting vaccines. But listen, I know that whether it's going to be a form of a pandemic or something much more mundane like a tick bite, you and your family need to be prepared. That's where the wellness company comes in. You know the wellness company. We have their great doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough on all the time. The wellness company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, or the travel kit, these prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of these medications. From anthrax to tick bites, from COVID to the bird flu, from a trip to the beach to a trip overseas, the Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Rest assured knowing that you have an emergency antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics on hand to help keep you and your family safe from whatever the globalists throw at us next. Go to twc.health/thedailydose today and order. That's twc.health/DAILYDOSE. Use promo code DailyDose to save 10%. Just a reminder, though, with all this being said and done, I love these kits. It saves me a lot of money every year because you don't have to go to the emergency room if you get an infection. You have all the medication right in your door, so make sure you get that today.